Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to show you how I turned this old toy robot I found at a thrift store into a fully customized figure of Combatron, complete with armor, comic accurate details, and that Pinoy 90s comic vibes. So let's get started. But first, before we begin, let me introduce you to Combatron, one of the most popular comics Filipino superheroes from the 90s. Where did he come from, and how did it all start? Combatron first appeared in 1992 in a comic called Filipino Funny Comics. He was created by Berlin Manalaysay and became a favorite because of his cool armor, high-tech weapons, and exciting battles. He started as a regular boy named Empoy, but after meeting a dying alien, he received a powerful armor suit and became Earth's new hero Combatron. And that's where it all began, with his robot dog as called by his side, his loyal companion, and along with a few trusted friends, Combatron fought against powerful warriors to protect the Earth from conquerors. You can really see a lot of influence in the comic, from Mega Man, Volts 5, Transformers, even Gundam, and of course those classic Japanese sci-fi super robots and tokusatsu shows. When I first saw Combatron, that's exactly what came to my mind, a mix of everything I loved. Now, let's move on how I made this figure. I started with the head, because for me, that was the most challenging part of the build. Combatron head isn't just about the helmet, its strong shape and colors give him that cool, heroic look of a true metal warrior. For his eye visor, I cut out a piece of plastic to make a visor shape from an egg surprise toy. The golden yellow color, a glossy texture fits perfectly and make it really stand out. Now let's move to his mouth and cheeks. I used different colored plastic from an egg surprise toy to get that natural skin tone look. Here's an Easter egg about his helmet. Did you know, the U-shape on his helmet, when tilted sideways, turns into the letter C, standing for Combatron. And also the head design resembles a samurai kabuto helmet, giving him that powerful warrior look. This is the upgraded version of Combatron armor, the one I chose to turn into a figure. Because it has more cooler design, plus, it comes with extra firepower, abilities like the Galactic Phoenix that blasts straight from his abdomen. Speaking of weapons, ever since I was a kid, my favorite has to be the Galactic Space Sword, out of all his weapons. Seeing Combatron wield it still gives me chills, like he's at his absolute strongest. Want to know what kind of materials I used for this sword? I was digging through extra parts from one of my other model kits when I found like this clear plastic piece, perfect for making the laser blade of Combatron's sword. Here's the basic shape of Combatron's sword before I painted it. I actually made it using just some scrap plastic pieces I had lying around, proof that sometimes creativity is all about making the most out of what you already have. Now, let's moving on to his chest, torso, and entire arms. I sculpted all of these parts myself using epoxy putty to sculpt the body's shape and details just right. One of the best things about using epoxy putty is that it's super easy to shape and smooth out, so you can create really detailed parts. Plus, once it dries, it becomes hard and durable, perfect for sculpting pieces for custom, kitbash, or any figure that lasts. Now, let's talk about his hands. Using the hand from an old figure, I cut it off and attached on it, so I could pose his right hand gripping the sword perfectly, making the whole figure look way more realistic and dynamic. I used epoxy putty again to reshape the hands so they fit just right with Combatron figure. Getting the size perfect was important to make sure everything looks natural and works well together. You just have to be creative. Using things like leftover scraps of plastic, you can turn them into materials for your project. Did you notice the holes where the screws go? I filled those in with putty to hide them and make the figure's surface nice and smooth. To finish the figure, I added this metal-like plate armor around the waist and crotch area to complete Combatron's body shape. Alright, time to talk about one of my favorite parts, the colors or paint I used to bring Combatron to life. I went to a local handicraft store and picked up some acrylic paints. Here are the colors I chose for Combatron. First is Sapphire Metallic Acrylic Paint, a deep, shiny blue that really catches the light. I used it on the darker blue areas like the head, chest, arms, and legs to give Combatron that sleek, armored look. For the lighter blue areas, I used Nickel Metallic Acrylic Paint, mixing it with blue to get a softer, brighter shade. This helped create contrast and made the details on Combatron's armor pop even more. And lastly, I used Yellow Gloss Metallic Acrylic Paint for the round core on his abdomen, giving it a bright, golden glow that draws attention to the center of his armor. For the final touch, I applied a semi-gloss water-based top coat to seal and protect the paint, making the colors last longer and giving the figure a smooth finish. When using top coat, make sure to work in an open, well-ventilated area. Spray from about 6 to 12 inches away, and apply light, even coats to avoid drips. Let's take a look at his arms. These can only rotate, but the hands are on ball joints, which gives them more flexibility and makes posing the figure a lot easier. I'm really happy because the connection between the head and body, along with the waist, is also on ball joints, making the figure even more posable. This means I can tilt, turn, and adjust the figure in more natural poses, adding a lot more life and expression to Combatron. Now, let's move on to the legs. The joint between the thigh and the lower leg is a simple single joint, which mainly allows bending. But the connection between the thighs and the body uses ball joints. This gives the legs a wider range of motion, letting you rotate and adjust them from almost any angle. It really helps when you want to create more dynamic and action-packed poses for Combatron. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps small creators like me to keep going. Every click, every comment, every bit of support keeps the passion alive and fuels more projects like this. Together, we can keep bringing heroes like Combatron back into the spotlight.